Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afiq Amnuddin bin Shafizan, and I will presented my research methodology about hybrid electrified vessel maximize energy efficiency for reduced greenhouse gas emission in atmosphere. Okay, this is for my introduction. As you know, globalization has been made possible by the improved efficiency of maritime transportation, as well as advancement in communication, market liberalization, and standardization in marine sector have been the most contributor for produce and release the global greenhouse gas emission or CO2 at the atmosphere about 3% and listed for being one of the globally significant energy usage sector in the world. For my literature review, that act as my reference. I have 4 literature review that I make as my reference to make some research to know about the system in the hybrid system in electricity or anything that can act as a support energy or support source for the vessel. My problem statement is maritime industry be a one of major contributor in maritime pollution, such as emit the greenhouse gas emission cause the global warming. Other than that, we have oil spill and water pollution that damage the environment of the marine habitat and animals. Furthermore, we have the sound pollution that made by a vessel. For my objective, the first one is to identify the major factors that contribute to maritime pollution. As we know, in maritime industry have many factors that can be benefactor to maritime pollution, and from there we can ranking them from the minor to the major factor that contribute for maritime pollution. For the second one, to uncover reason on why must use smart energy system concept in a vessel such as electrified hybrid system. Because of this objective, we know that the major factor in maritime pollution is air pollution because we have many vessels around the world that use fuel combustion and they will emit the gas in the atmosphere. The third one is to show the advantage when use the smart energy system can reduce the gas emission in the atmosphere, and we can create a system that friendly to environment and can reduce the pollution. The methodology that I use, the step one is to identify all the variables that can contribute in a hybrid electrified system. Step 2, data collection based on the questionnaire and the expert. For the step 3, data processing from the data collection information. Step 4, data analysis, form a formula from the data collected. And the step 5 is the result. For the method that I use in data collection is snowball sampling method. Is to choose some expert to independently respond to the questionnaire after conducting conversation with them and assess each configuration to determine when it will be realized in the future. Okay, that's mean I will communicate with them to know their opinion about my research, and is it reliable or suitable for me to make some data and some result for this research. And for the data analysis, I use two statistical techniques, that is exploratory factor analysis EFA and confirmatory factor analysis CFA. These two are same type with AHP and TopSIF. Because for the EFA, I use this for the to ranking the factor from the lowest to the highest factor that can use, and which one the important one that I can use and which one that not important that I will just make them as a reference. For the CFA, I will create a hypothesis from the factor from the data that I get to know is it effective to change the system, the electrified hybrid system in a vessel. For my expected result, the first one is the factor that affect the maritime pollution in greenhouse gas emission from specific port in this country, and to know the ways to overcome this problem by actual observation and developing questionnaire to the expert and the various seafarer. From the questionnaire, it can gather and set the hierarchy between the most contributing factor to the least factor to the maritime pollution in this country. From the data, it can develop a graph to show the factor of the maritime pollution in maritime industry. The second one is from the data get from the questionnaire, the answer on why must use smart energy system concept in a vessel such as electrified hybrid system can make a strong explanation for a vessel undergo the transformation from a full power driven vessel to electrified hybrid power vessel and to adapt in this technology modern era. The third one is the analytical data from the factor and the reason we showed, and it will give some advantages when use the smart energy system in electrified hybrid engine system in these decades. This may give us an opportunity to create something new to improving the vessel combustion system. For my conclusion, to put it briefly, based on the research from the data that collected on the questionnaire can conclude that the maritime industry have many factors towards the maritime pollution. And the main factor is air pollution because of the main transportation that used in maritime industry is a shipping fleet. Because of the enormous size of a vessel, they need very large engine to be the source to power the vessel. Because of the size of the engine is big, they consume many or a huge amount of fuel to make that to make them power the vessel. So from the fuel combustion is emit the gas. So if we make the engine improve to electrified hybrid system, it can reduce the gas emission in atmosphere and can solve not solve but can make our environment a little bit healthier from before than before. That's all from me, and thank you.